So this is going to be an open message to middle school esports, high school esports, college esports, and the community in general from Generation Esports. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Generation Esports Report. As you can see, it's just me this week. Unfortunately, Gracie came in contact with someone who tested positive for COVID, so we're playing things safe, and we got her tested, and we're awaiting the results. But for now, we're just going to let her quarantine and stay safe. But I figured, since it's just me this week, I would take the opportunity to just talk to you. Whether you're a student, teacher, viewer of this show, I thought it would be really important as we lead into our fall major to just get to sit down and talk with you all and fill you in on everything at Generation Esports and the leagues associated with us, in particular the High School Esports League and the Middle School Esports League. I really felt this was important heading into the seasons as we work towards transparency within the company and being as transparent as possible with all of you. You see, that's part of the reason I'm filming this here in our conference room. You see, we're not some giant corporation fueled by hungry investors. We're just gamers aimed at building opportunities and experiences we wish we had as a kid. And as we grow, that core value has grown with us. So with that said, buckle in, grab some popcorn, and let's talk. So to kick things off, let's talk about the elephant in the room for most people when it comes to high school esports, and that is money. Currently, it's free to compete in Fortnite and Rocket League. You can sign up, register a team, and compete in those 100% for free. All of the other leagues require a battle pass. In high school, the High School Esports League battle pass for one season is $40. The year-long pass, which is good for 4 seasons, is $89. There's also group pricing available for schools who would like to be invoiced for the season. Middle school esports is a little bit cheaper. It's $20 for one season, $45 for all seasons. We do want to make sure we're being as inclusive as possible with our pricing, and so one of the great partnerships we have is with the Varsity Esports Foundation. If your school is on free and reduced lunch or is Title I, you could qualify for grant funding to offset some of the cost of the league fees. They also have a lottery system each year to help pay for your league fees completely free. And don't worry, I will link them below if you want to try to apply for that and get some funding for your school. So that's how our pricing works, and the big question is always, where does the money go? Well, we are a company and we need employees to build the experience that you deserve. So this past year, we invested heavily into our product development and customer support teams. The biggest challenge we faced was introducing a new competitive platform that featured a queuing system. This system is extremely beneficial as it has almost completely eliminated forfeits and no-shows, which is always the biggest problem when you're trying to run an esports competition online. It also offers much better matchups for teams of all skill levels so everyone can feel included in our league. We also can't forget about scholarships. This summer alone, we sent out $75,000 to students all across the country, and this fall we have another $30,000 up for grabs. And finally, we can't forget about the publishers. A lot of people don't realize this, but we don't own the games, the publishers do. And so for us to provide you tournaments and leagues with their games, the publishers have to get their cut. Look, as much as we would like to make this free for everyone, unfortunately, nothing in life is truly free. And for us to build a national network of high schools competing against each other and giving you the best possible experience, it takes money. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the league structure for the fall major and for the foreseeable future. The fall major begins on October 12th, so make sure you're getting registered if you want to compete, as registration closes October 11th. The regular season runs for 8 weeks, with one match being played every single week. To play your matches, each game has designated time slots that you're able to queue into and find opponents. We call these playtimes. Now the playtime windows are posted on our website, but these are subject to change depending on how many teams we end up with for each game. But once the season does kick off, those slots are locked in, and the only reason we would change them is there is serious major concerns with how long queue windows are or if no one's able to make a certain slot. Otherwise, they're going to be very consistent. So next major question is, how does the queuing system find you matches? Well, each match that you play earns you an adjusted MMR, just like playing a competitive game of Rocket League or Overwatch. Depending on the skill level of the team you just played and whether or not you won or lost, your score will be adjusted accordingly. As the weeks go on, your skill level will be more honed in and you'll begin finding teams of very similar skill level. This avoids you having to schedule matches with specific teams and eliminates no-shows and forfeits. It's also a way more precise system than your typical round robin. Once the regular season is over, we'll take the top teams and enter them into playoffs. Playoffs is a single elimination tournament that's played through until we have a champion. Those champions are then awarded scholarship money. The scholarship amounts vary from $250 to $1,000 per student depending on how many teams were registered for any given title. The scholarship money is paid out once you graduate high school and inform us what college to send the money to. There are no restrictions on what college or post-secondary education institution you go to. For BR games, it's a similar process, but instead of finding a team to play, we'll create a custom lobby for you to join into, which creates a more fair experience as everyone you're playing against is in the same tournament. Alright, so for this next section, I would like to talk a little bit about Generation Esports and how it relates to the High School Esports League and the Middle School Esports League. So first off, to clarify, Generation Esports is the name of our company as well as the name of our competitive platform. As a company, we own and operate the Middle School Esports League and the High School Esports League. We also power the NJCAA for collegiate esports and junior colleges. Our vision at Generation Esports is to be the global esports ecosystem for all communities. If you are interested in getting involved in esports, we want to make sure you have the ability to. Our mission is to create opportunities for all esports athletes to give them a sense of community. And that all ties directly in with our core values as a company. Our number one core value is esports athletes first. Everything we do, we keep our athletes in mind. The first major example of this is the queuing system. We don't want you to have to deal with forfeits and no-shows, so we invested heavily into fixing that problem for you. The next core value is creating opportunities. We have almost 100 college recruiters in our Discord alone. We offer free STEM-approved curriculum to enter into your schools, and we give you safe competition from middle school all the way through college to give you the experience of growing both as a player and as a teammate. Our next core value is that we're inclusive for all gamers, people, and communities. No one should be held back from competing in esports. Everyone is welcome here. We also launched a series called Generation Next, dedicated to showing that esports is everyone. The next core value is supporting fair and fun structured competition. This is an esports company after all, and we want you guys all to go out and have fun competing. And it's our job to make sure it's as fair and as fun as possible. And finally, we're innovative and resourceful. As I mentioned earlier, we aren't a giant company fueled by investors. We have no traditional VC funding. We have a close-knit team that all works together to provide as much value as possible with what we have to work with. We also have a list of aspirational values that we are working on, which leads me into my promise to all of you. I'm here for you. My DMs are open on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Coach Alney on all social media. If you ever need help with anything, if you need to voice a concern, or if you just want to say hi, that's the kind of community I want to build with all of you, and that's why I got involved with Generation Esports in the first place. And finally, I want to address the sponsors you see listed all over our websites and leagues, and kind of why we got involved with them and what it means for all of us. Sponsors are important to what we do because we don't always have the resources to cover everything we do. So we got to start with the Army National Guard. We chose the Army National Guard to be the official tournament sponsor because we both aspire to help give students opportunities they didn't know they had. We're also working with them on a massive year-long campaign to grant 25 under-resourced schools across the country the equipment they need to officially get started in esports. Yeah, you heard that right. We're doing 25 esports labs with the Army National Guard. This will directly give back to the esports community and help foster the growth of the sport. It's a big one, and we can't wait to release all of the details in November. No other sponsor came to us with such ambitious goals, and that's why we chose them. Next is our official hardware sponsor, Asus, Republic of Gamers, and Tough Gaming. They're an amazing hardware sponsor as they've been huge supporters of esports and are going to make building esports labs more affordable than ever for schools, which is why we got involved with it. You can't have a computer without a processor, and this leads me into Intel, our official CPU sponsor who is helping fund equipment at better rates for schools that need to gear up. And finally, we have Zaxby's because who doesn't love chicken? Skulls because you need to be looking fresh representing your school. And NCSA, the Next College Student Athlete, because they help you and your family find colleges that are right for you. They have all contributed in major ways to helping with opportunities and access. Whew. All right, well, thanks to everyone who's made it to this point in the show. I know it was a lot of information, but I just felt like it needed to be shared. One final note before I let you go, where should you look for updates? Well, for starters, this show. It airs every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, and we'll always be here with a weekly update on what's going on and what changes have been made. We're also going to begin posting weekly updates on our Discord and our website. Anything that changes competitively or within the company, we're going to let you guys know right away. We're going to try as hard as possible to make sure everyone is aware of every change that's going on. We appreciate every single one of you and cannot wait to kick off this competitive year. So get your teams registered and let's have a great fall major.